we've had her on the show before. She came with her cousin and they were talking about their love for farming. But this time around, she's captured the CARICOM Young Farmer of the Year award. We say a very good morning to Citrina Atkins, who is also a Prime Minister Youth Awardee for Agriculture. Good morning, Miss Atkins.
Good morning, Delia. Thank you for having me.
It's awesome to have you. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
I mean, how does it feel? It's great to be recognized at home as a Prime Minister Youth Awardee, but CARICOM, wow. Tell me about that.
Yes, it's quite a humbling experience, and I'm, very honored to be recognized not only within Jamaica but also by my Caribbean neighbors.
Yes.
And it speaks volume to the work that young women are doing here in Jamaica. To be recognized in such a way.
Yes. Particular, I'm glad you said young women. I mean, our own Tony and Layla is a super farmer. What do you think accounts for that, Citrina? Because there was a time when and listen, it's a cycle because I don't want us to forget the women who went before, who used to do the farming, the subsistence farming to feed families and go to the market and so on. But more and more now, we're seeing young women like yourself coming forward and saying, hey, I can rock agriculture. Why do you think that's happening?
Well, I think that is just the resilience that we have and the fact that we're changing the face of food and we recognize that agriculture is a viable career option.
Yes, yes. So tell me a little bit about the farming that you do, because I know even though people are looking and saying, Lord have mercy, Citrina no go out in and no field gonna know farming. She probably just directs some people. Tell me about your farm and your crops and what do you do?
Well, currently we have Scotch bonnet peppers and yellow yam,
Mm-hmm.
but we usually plant sweet potatoes and Irish potatoes as well, amongst other crops as well.
Yes.
We work with team of persons because, when it comes to farming, you can't do it by yourself. You need
Mm-hmm.
a strong team behind you. So, yes, there are times when I delegate and there are times when I carry out the duties by myself.
Yes. Yes. Is that difficult, Citrina? I mean, I find that as a woman in, well, women in some areas, there's a challenge when the human resource I work with are mostly men. Sometimes they don't necessarily want the instruction from a woman. What is your experience as a young farmer?
Well, what I find is that once you give your team members the respect that they need,
Yes.
especially the fact that they are way much older than you, they can be your father or even your grandfather.
Yes.
You have to ensure that you give them the respect. And trust me, once you tell them to do something, they will quickly do it. And it's also, facilitate a transfer of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because I learned so much from them and they can learn so much from me as well.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the Jamaica 4-H Club's youth farmer. You benefited from their rural youth economic empowerment program. Tell me a little bit about the program and just how well that worked for you.
Yes, the program has been very crucial in my development in agriculture. We learn business, how to manage our farm as a business. We will learn marketing, we learn entrepreneurship. It's a very extensive program that has affected thus far over 500 youths.
Wow.
And the program is still going to this day. And now I currently am a part of the 4-H Youth in Agriculture Committee, where we advocate for youth involvement in agriculture.
Yes, I like that idea because I think a lot of us still see it as subsistence. We grow and we eat it, or we go to the market and we try to sell it. But when you look at it the way you have, in terms of, the business of it, it can make you so much more successful. Are you finding that along with yourself, it's attracting a lot more young people who normally wouldn't be in agriculture? Were you always keen on being in agriculture?
Actually, no. I studied banking and finance at UWI, and though
You,
the knowledge
I
has,
lost you 1 second. You studied what?
I studied banking and finance at UWI. Yes, yeah, and with my banking degree, it actually helps me with the business side of
Yes.
managing my business. However, I did not consider agriculture at all. But I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, wanted to be my own boss. But for some reason, I did not look in the direction of agriculture until 2018, when my cousin showed me another young farmer in the space. And then I was inspired and started doing more research. And then I realized the importance and the viability of an agriculture business.
Yeah, that's interesting. Uh, it takes me to my next question. Are we, are we sharing with our young people the options that are available to them? Because I like to feel like it's not just what you're good at, but what you're passionate about. Because to do banking and finance at you have to be really great at it. But here you are doing farming and it's your passion, eh? Should we open that up more to young people when we're talking about careers and options for them as entrepreneurs? Agriculture should really be one of the major things we talk about to Jamaican young people.
Yes, I believe that, it's being pushed more now, especially in this pandemic, and that is one of the goals of the Jamaica 4-H, to get persons involved in agriculture from a young stage, and expose them to the various arms of agriculture. It's not just about crop production. You have beekeeping. Nowadays, you have even aquaponics and hydroponics farming, which is very, exciting for young persons, and all the technologies that we have available. So, I think now more light is being shed on the issue.
Yeah, I just want to big up Case over there in Portland and all that they do as well to prepare young people for agriculture. And you said it, I mean, science and technology, agro-processing is now a big thing. Do you see us making more headway in the agro-processing industry as a Jamaican nation?
Yes, definitely. Because even on my farm, I'm now looking at ways how I can add value to my products. You
Yes.
know, yes, and most young persons that I speak to in the space, that is what that is where their mind is at. Agro processing. It's not just about primary production anymore. It's about adding value to your products, and offering it to a wider market. Tapping into a wider market to bring in more income for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a recently concluded Caribbean Week of Agricultural Conference that was held in Guyana. Have you had an opportunity to speak to your fellow Caribbean young farmers and to see just, some of the challenges they're having or some of the similarities that we have as farmers across the region?
No, I have not spoken to anyone directly,
Okay.
but this is why, no, I will use this award, to push for more, cross-border, connection and
Yes.
partnerships
Yes.
between our Caribbean neighbors, because I believe that we experience similar challenges, especially with climate change.
Hmm.
And also we can share technologies and share ideas on how, to carry out our best practices.
Yeah. Among those best practices for me, Citrina, would also be, and I've heard this as one of the challenges, how you move from farm to table and what happens in between. Lately, and my coworker them here cuss me, but I tell them, say I go supermarket, go see vacuum seal yam and banana, and I buy them and throw them in the water and cook them and go. He's still
Yes,
looking at me right now.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely. Proper post harvesting is,
yeah.
very, very important. And as you can see, that is also value added, and convenient goods. Persons are tapping into the convenient goods market, because
Yes.
I, for one, does not like to peel bananas. So when I go in the supermarket and see vacuum seal bananas, I'm extremely happy because it saves me time.
Yes, yes. Listen, I've seen vacuum seal sweet potato, yam. It makes it easier for us to eat what we're growing here in Jamaica. I'm all for it. And Citrine, I'm so proud of you. Congrats on your achievement. CARICOM's Young Farmer of the Year. Oh my gosh. Looking forward to
Thank you,
so
Delia.
much more from you. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thanks again for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right. Additional domestic violence intervention centers rolling out at police stations. I love that. We're going to give you all the details.